coming to the topic of mole fraction. Today's topic is mole fraction. Okay. So whatever the numericals I am giving to you through the assignment form, that will be discussed in the numerical session. Whatever you are not able to do, that I will explain in the numerical session. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now mole fraction. As in the yesterday's class, I told you whenever there is a fraction, so immediately blindly what you can do, you can write it as no units. Okay. How many words I told you? Percentage and what else I told you? Fraction. Okay. These are the two words with which you can immediately, without knowing the basics of the topic, irrespective of chemistry, physics and maths. If it is fraction, unitless. Okay. So no units and is denoted with X. Okay. Now why it is introduced even after having molarity, molality, normality, what is the purpose of introducing this? Is all the previous units were applicable only. Okay, all the previous units are applicable only for binary solution. Which solutions? They are applicable for binary solutions. Okay. Now this mole fraction is applicable for any solution which contain more than two, or even two also it is applicable, and more than two solute also applicable. Okay. It is applicable for quaternary, tertiary, n number of solute can be added. But that is not addressed by the mole fraction and molarity and normality. They are applicable only for the binary solution. That was the limitation. Now it is explanation for the limitation by the previous unit. Is it understood? So mole fraction is, let us take three components. Now we cannot say solute solvent. When only 2% are there, then which is dissolved into which it is dissolved, we will make it as a solute and solvent. Now we call it as a mixed. A, B, C are mixed with each other. So once we call it as a mixed, we cannot say which is solute, which is solvent. So for that purpose, so there is no compound term like solute, solvent, anything else. Likewise, to avoid that, what we will do, we will just write component A, component B, and component C. Okay. So mole fraction of component A is equal to number of moles of A divided by number of moles of A plus number of moles of B plus number of moles of C. Okay. Next, same way, XB is equal to number of moles of B divided by number of moles of A plus number of moles of B plus number of moles of C. Likewise. Okay. Next, coming to mole fraction of C. Here everybody given with equal importance. The tragedy of the previous unit is they always keep the solute in the numerator. They don't give value to the solvent. Every time solvent is allowed to sit at the bottom. Where? Sit at the bottom, that is in the denominator. Now here everybody got equal opportunity. In this formula, A is on the top. In this formula, B is on the top, and in the next formula, which is going to be on the top? Okay, very good. So like that, quick replies, if you are giving, then it is very encouraging to me. Okay, good. C will be on the top. Understood? Now, but even though we are segregating, we are differentiating them with the different formulas, but they are all one. What does it mean? All one means when you add mole fraction of A, mole fraction of B plus mole fraction of C, always equal to how much? 1. They are always 1. How much it is? 1. If 10 are there, then it is going to be 1 only. 5 are there, then it is going to be 1 only. 2 are there, then also it is going to be 1 only. Irrespective of number of components in the solute, in the solution, the sum is always going to be how much? 1. XA plus XB plus XC is equal to how much? 1. Is it understood? So that is the two things you should understand. Now to make it more informative, this formula to be used when the moles are given. Sometimes what they will give you, here I will write XA plus XB plus XC is equal to 1. Okay. So three components when added with them. Now to make it more informative, in place of the mass, moles I can write as a mass upon molecular mass. So this is mass upon molar mass of A divided by mass upon molar mass of A plus mass upon molar mass of B plus mass upon molar mass of C. Okay. Same way, I think you are all smart enough to write these formulas. You are all smart enough. Jagdish replied, Subhash replied, very nice. Okay. So such a fast typing smart people. Okay. So these formulas you can do it afterwards. Okay. I'm giving you less time for making notes. Only purpose is that we should utilize to discuss more and more concepts. Then how you will make notes afterwards, this video will be recorded and will be provided to you through a link, and that from that you can see anytime, n number of times you can see it, and any in your own convenience time. That is the advantage of that link. Okay. So now only you should understand in this class what you should do. Understand. For understanding one time and for making notes and revising, you can see this video every now and then. Understood? So this is about the mole fraction. Okay. So this is the advantage. What is the advantage? It is applicable not only for the binary solution, but also for tertiary, quaternary, any type of solution. And the advantage, one more advantage is, need not to remember the units. Suppose molarity, mole per liter, molality, mole per kg, normality, equivalent mole per liter. Like that, you have to remember the things. Here, less to remember, more to inform. Okay. And one more advantage of mole fraction is it is temperature independent. Okay, that we will discuss when you discuss this. Few questions are there from the mains exam. So temperature dependent, what are those? Okay, I will give you concept. Then you will understand what is the, based on what concept you will segregate them. Okay. So next topic suggested by Lokagna is ppm. Okay. So ppm is used when it is used after knowing the purpose. After knowing the purpose, then it will be easy to understand. It will be easy for you to understand. ppm is used especially when the solute quantity is much negligible in comparison to solvent. Okay, amount of solute is negligible in comparison to smalls, as comparison to solvent. Like you will find this word mostly in case of the pollution. 10 ppm, 15 ppm. That means polluted quantity will be less, air quantity, atmosphere quantity will be more. Okay. So stands for parts per million. Okay. So here in the name itself is sufficient. Million. That means per million, 1 million, whatever the parts. Okay. Here parts is a general term. It can be in liter, but it should be in liter. Million liter, how many liter? Million kg, how many kg? Okay. So this is also unitless, per. Okay. Here which word making it unitless? Per. Okay. So 1 million liter contains how many liters? 1 million grams contains how many grams? 1 million molecule contains how many grams? Only thing per word used when this should be having same units. Okay. So that's why no units for ppm. But in a suffix, what you write? ppm. What you write? ppm. Okay. So ppm formula is number of moles. Let us take mass of solute. Okay. Mass of solute divided by mass of solution. Okay. Into, in percentage we will multiply with 100. Now we are going to multiply with 10 to the power of 6. Where from the 6 came? Per million. Okay. So if these many grams contain this much solute, million grams contains how much? Okay. This can be in mass also. Same way it can be in what? Volume also. Volume of solute divided by volume of solution into 10 to the power of 6. Okay. Even it can be what? Number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solution. Okay. Into 10 to the power of 6. These are the per million. Okay, per million, 10 to the power of 6. It is just like percentage only. In percentage, what you will do? Multiply with 100, and here what you will do? You will multiply with 10 to the power of 6. Okay, parts per million. Is it understood now? Now after this, there is one more unit just modified, that is called ppb. What it is called as? ppb, parts per billion. Okay, ppb. So in million we multiply with the 10 to the power of 6. In billion, billion, million, billion, trillion. Likewise, there will be, keep on, you can change just by multiplication factor will change. In billion, what it should be? 10 to the power of 10 to the power of billion means 1 billion is equal to, I think everybody know that, you can write it afterwards. Okay, so these are the normal as a NCRT basic CBSE as a state board examination. Up to here you should know. Okay, from now onwards I am going to tell you the things which are required for the IIT NEET and mains and advanced. Okay, so first one is number volume method. What method? Number volume method. Okay, so number volume method is a special condition. What condition? Special condition. Okay, special condition, it is used for H2O2 alone. For where it is used, this is a concentration method only, concentration term only, but it is only used for H2O2. Why it is used and what it is used, that I will tell you now. Okay, so H2O2 is basically unstable compound. It immediately decomposes to give H2O plus O2. For balancing purpose, H2, 2H2O, 2H2O2 gives 2H2O plus O2. Okay, so initially, even though we take, initially what we take? We take only H2O2. But after some time, it is going to be converted into solution. Why? H2O is a solvent, H2O2 is a solute. So how much is H2O2 left over in that solution will be decided by the amount of oxygen it is able to liberate on complete decomposition of that solution. Is it understood? So amount of quantity of O2 in terms of what? Liters. Quantity of O2 in terms of liters when it is completely decomposed, as that given solution will be directly proportional to amount of H2O2. Suppose if we are able to catch up with 22.4 liter of O2 at STP, that means that 1 liter of solution contains 2 mole. What does it mean? 2 mole of H2O2 is available. Otherwise, we can say 2 into 34 grams of solute is available. Okay. So with this, what you can do, you can convert into molarity. Okay. Suppose in our solution, in one this is represented with the, suppose 20 liter number volume. Number is 20, volume is liter. So number volume method is example 20 liter solution. Okay, solution of H2O2. This is given. Now everything you can convert it into. Okay, you can convert it into molarity, you can convert into molality, you can convert into normality, you can convert into mass fraction, everything. Okay, so how it is, I will tell you. Understood? So I think if I explain molarity, then all things will be well understood by you people. Okay. So this is the number volume method. Number volume method is used for what? Only H2O2. And what that number represent? Volume of O2 collected. Where, at what condition? At STP. From where? 1 liter of solution. Okay. So solution volume is fixed. Solution volume is how much? 1 liter. Okay. So volume of O2 measured at volume of O2 measured at STP. These two conditions must be met. Okay. So now I am converting one example. I am taking one example, 20 liter solution. How many liter solution? 20 liter solution. I want to convert into what? Molarity. Okay. So in molarity, from this equation, what we can say, from this equation, 22.4 liter of O2 liberated means 2 mole of H2O2 in 1 liter solution. Okay. 22.4 liter of O2 liberated means 2 moles of H2O2 liberated. Understood? From the 1 liter solution. Now, how much we are given with 20 liter of O2 corresponds to how much? Okay. So, just by unitary method, 20 by 22.4 into 2. 20 by 22.4 into 2, that is 40 by 22.4. This will be molarity. This is going to be molarity. Understood? So once you know the molarity, is it possible for you to find out mass fraction, molality? That you will come to know when I explain about the other terms. Okay. So normality will be just in terms of the molarity only. Okay, I will tell you interconversion of one unit into another unit. Okay, two more units are there. Oleum. Special methods are used for oleum. Okay, and available chlorine for bleaching powder. Okay, it is used to multiplied by 2 because 2H2O2 in the balanced. So there is a question from student that why 2 multiplied? 2H2O2 gives H2O plus O2. That means 1 mole of O2 liberated from 2 moles of H2O2. That's why 2 is multiplied. Okay. Now there are two more terms which will be discussed during advanced class. What is that? Oleum. What? Oleum. Okay. And second one is available chlorine. Available chlorine. This is used for bleaching powder. Which powder? Bleaching powder concentration is expressed in terms of the Cl2. Okay. Expressed in terms of what? Cl2. Okay. And next term is used, we are going to use is oleum. Okay. Percentage method only. Oleum is specially expressed with another method. So we will discuss when we discuss some topics of the advanced. Okay. So up to here, this is about the theory of what? Concentration terms. Okay. Now we will focus on if one part is given and how to find out. If one part is found, another part is will be discussed numericals, interconversion. Okay. So in interconversion, suppose first question. Okay. 49%. All of you write down 49% by mass of sulfuric acid have specific gravity. Specific gravity. All of you note down specific gravity. Okay, 49%. Specific 49% by mass of H2SO4 have specific gravity of 1.2 gram per milliliter. Find molarity. Second, molality. Third, mole fraction. Okay. All of you noted 49% by mass of H2SO4 have specific gravity of 1.2 gram per milliliter. Then find molality and mole fraction. Okay, now I am going to explain this. So all values must have been noted. Okay, very nice. Reply started coming. 49% by mass density. Specific gravity is just like density. Okay, two values are given. Mass percentage. Mass percentage is equal to 49%. Okay, those who cannot understand yesterday's first question, they have to be very little bit conscious now. Mass percentage is given, specific gravity is just density only 1.2. Okay, now density and mass percentage given. First we need to find out molarity. Okay, so see, molarity is equal to mass upon molecular mass of solute divided by volume of solution. Okay, and here it is going to be in milliliter, so I will multiply it with 1000. Okay, so how I can come to know that into 1000 multiplied, here density will be normally gram per milliliter. Okay, okay, good. Answer started pouring in. Now see here, 49%. Like this question, some people are using direct formulas. What they are doing? They are using the direct formulas, but it is dangerous. In the examination, what you may forget at least one word. Then what it will create? It is going to give you wrong answer. Okay. So 100% means 100. Normally percent will be for 100. Okay. So try to understand this method. It is applicable everywhere, not only this question. Okay. So 100 percentage means 100. Out of this is regarding what? Solution. Okay. In the 100% solution, mass percentage is given. That's why I'm writing 100 grams. Is it clear to you all? 100 by written percentage, gram by written mass percentage, and solution is complete. That is solution. Out of it, 49 grams is of H2SO4. Okay, 49 grams is of H2SO4. Leftover will be what? 51. 51 grams will be of water. 51 grams will be of water. Okay, 49 grams sulfuric acid, 51 grams water. How we could done it is understood. Now, this molecular mass. Molecular mass is how much? 98. Everybody should by heart these values. In the exam, you will not get time to calculate this. Molecular mass, it is 18. Okay. So this is solute, this is solvent. Now, here along with the mass, we are also given with density 1.2. By using the mass and density, what you can find out? You can find out volume. Okay, because density is equal to mass upon volume, so volume will be mass upon density. Okay, so mass is how much here? 100. Density is how much? 1 by 1.2. Okay, so all required values. First I have written here my requirement. Molarity requirement is this. Okay, and I have fulfilled all the requirement by detailed writing information. Okay, so mass of solute. Mass of solute is how much? 49 divided by molecular mass of solute 98. Okay, now divided by mass of solute is 49, molecular mass is 98, divided by volume of solution, it is 100 divided by 1.2. Okay, into 1000. So on simplifying, you will get. Now, yesterday I have seen some students are using shortcut formulas. It is highly dangerous. If you forget some point, if you forget 100 or something like that, it will be very difficult. That formula also derived from this only. See, on simplification, this will be 49 by 98 into 1.2 divided by 100 into 1000. Okay, so they made it as a formula. See, this is what? Mass percentage. Okay, so this and this will get cancelled. What is this? Density into 10 by molecular mass. Okay, so like this shortcut they made. Molarity, you should be creating shortcut, but you should not follow the shortcut. Okay, how that shortcut created, is it understood? Molarity here, mass percentage density into 10 divided by molar mass. Okay, So on simplifying, you will get molarity. This simplification you can do it afterwards. Now, if you write in this fashion, not only molarity you will be able to know. Ila chadute, if you read from like this, you will be able to solve only molarity. But if you write like this, you will be able to find out everything. See from this table how I am going to utilize it. Okay. So molarity, I think yesterday's first question, it is clear now. So if you can understand yesterday's first question, that means you can understand all other easy questions. Okay. Now coming to the next one is molality. What is the next one? Molality. Molality formula: mass upon molar mass of solute divided by mass of solvent if it happens to be in gram into 1000. Okay, if it happens to be in grams, then what you will do? In 1000. Okay, multiplied by 1000. Okay, so mass upon molecular mass of solute. Mass is how much? Solute 49. Molecular mass is how much? 98. Whole divided by mass of solvent is how much? Mass of solvent is this one, 51 into 1000. Okay, so this is the molality. What is this? Molality. I have used anything just from that table, everything is sufficient. Okay, now let us see the magic. Mole fraction. Okay, mole fraction. Suppose mole fraction of H2SO4 I want. Okay, so mole fraction of H2SO4 is what? Mole fraction of H2SO4 is equal to number of moles of H2SO4. Number of moles of H2SO4 divided by number of moles of H2SO4 plus number of moles of water. Okay, so this is equal to 49 by 98 divided by 49 by 98 plus 51 by 80. So this tabular form is more and more important. This tabular form is more and more important. Okay. So like that, if you detailedly write, no shortcut formulas required. Shortcut formula, you can do only one numerical, and there are chances in the examination tension, you may forget that one word also that will not give you the correct answer. Okay. So molality, mole fraction, everything is done. Okay. Next. Next, right, up to here, is it understood? I have covered everything about the theory to numerical. Now, dilution formula. What is the next formula? Dilution formula. Okay. So, dilution formula means it is used when same solution is there, only water or solvent is added. Okay. So, M1V1 is equal to M2V2. Formula is M1V1 is equal to M2V2. There is a problem with the students when they ask how much water to be added. They are giving V2 as an answer. You have to be very careful. V2 is volume final. Okay, not water. Then what you will do? Water volume. Okay, water added. If the question is water added, solvent added, then what you will do? Water added or solvent added will be V2 minus V1. What it will be? V2 minus V1. Very good. Okay. So V2 minus V1. Final volume, if they are asking, then only V2. V1 is initial volume, M1 is initial molarity, M2 is final molarity. Always M2 will be less than M1 if it is a dilution. If it is a dilution. Okay. And V2 will be greater than V1, because if you add solvent, then only concentration will be decreased and it is called as a dilution. Okay. So this is about the dilution formula. Second one is combination formula. Next one is called as combination. What nation? Combination. Okay. Combination formula means when you combine two solutions of the same solute. Okay. When you add two solutions of the same solute, M1 V1 plus M2 V2 by V1 plus V2 is equal to M3. This is the final molarity. Sometimes V1 plus V2 is also called as V3. but you should make sure that both solute should be same. Both should be acid, both should be base, both should be salt, likewise. If one is acid, another is base, then what you will do, you will subtract here. If acid is more, acid minus base. If base is more, base minus acid. Is it understood? Okay. So any doubt about this? This is about the theoretical concepts of concentration.